according to tradition, Catherine was a beautiful virgin, and she was also especially gifted intellectually, directly by the Holy Spirit, it would seem. For she, after her conversion, was brought before the emperor himself, Maxentius, and she was to be tried before him. 50 philosophers were opposed to her arguments, but she vanquished them all, and they were burned by the emperor for their failure. But she herself was condemned to be killed on a spiked wheel. We still, in fireworks, talk about the Catherine wheel, which goes round and round. But the wheel broke, and she was then beheaded. She became very popular, and her voice was one of those heard by St. Joan of Arc, another young virgin. She is the patron of Christian philosophers. There is a curious tradition in France where, way back on this one day, the 25th of November, unmarried virgins were allowed to wear a special headdress to make known that they were still available. And from there has come the expression coiffer la Sainte Catherine, to put on the headdress of St. Catherine. It has come to mean, in common parlance, arrived at the age of 25 without having been asked for in marriage. With regard to philosophy, it means in itself the love of wisdom, philosophia. But alas, if one examines much of the common thought classed as philosophy, it suffers quite often, not always, but from one fundamental error. It's this self-sufficiency, as though the human brain had control over fact. One went as far at one stage as logical positivism, promoted by A.J. Ayer in Cambridge, that one could not, in the parameters of logic, talk about the beyond and who might inhabit it, for it was beyond our realms of conviction, thought and argument. The thing was that he had an NDE, a near-death experience, while being operated on, and his soul was going towards a red light at the end of a tunnel. But he was called back, and he was more reserved afterwards about the beyond and about the capacity to talk about it, and about God as well. For when one comes face to face with something, then the thought of man becomes a little bit more quiet and now self-assertive. Philosophy can clip an angel's wings. I believe it was Milton who put it that way. Well, it is true. Philosophy can participate in the pride of thought of Lucifer. With regard to his original sin, he was operating within the parameters of what he could see, and he was only used to goodness in the universe and its creator, so he presumed that nothing would happen. What was his surprise when hell came into being at that point? Thought, didn't think all. And so it is that if we think that by saying certain things in a loud mode, we can, as it were, alter and even eliminate any objective fact beyond time, then we are participating in that fundamental illusion and pride of Lucifer himself. And it is what is out there. It is what is being projected at us. For actually, in our day, the whole norm is poke fun at who and what. The risk that God actually might be there and have a last word. Make a loud noise, place a great norm, and use modern means to promote it in such a way that Lucifer reigns over the mind. And by the way, very few people think for themselves, so it is very easy to do so. True wisdom is participation in the wisdom that made us, the Logos that invented the rules of the universe, and for whom one day all thought will vanish, for he is, and his truth is what it is, will be, and can never ever